Hi guys, welcome to today's video. Today we'll be looking at something different. It is something that will help boost your JavaScript knowledge. We'll be looking at some of the higher order array methods. We'll be looking at ForEach, map, filter, sort, and reduce. We'll be diving into how each of them works and how they are used and how knowing this method will help you in your career as a developer. So before we start, I've created an HTML file here with an each one of JavaScript array method, right? And I have a JavaScript file here which has two different array. One is an array of staff, an array of objects, which has first name as a property, surname, gender, age, and salary. And I have another array of scores down here. So we're using our console to to check what we're going to be doing to display our results, right? So let's start. So we're going to start with ForEach, right? So what ForEach does is ForEach is a method that executes a provided function for each element in an array. What it simply means that it is a better way to look through an array rather than using for loop, right? So we have one example on ForEach. Here we go. So I'm going to work with the staffs array. So we'll say staffs dot ForEach. I'm going to pass in an argument. Let's give it an argument of staff. Then your arrow function. Now what we need is to log staff. And so as you can see here, it gave us each of the items inside the array. It gave us each of them. I can see, right? So that's what ForEach does. It's just like a better way and simpler and easier method of writing for loop. Right? So you can even now make it more better. Like if you just need the first name of each of the staffs, right? So you just say staff dot first name, and to give you just the first name of the staff. Maybe you even need the let's say you just need the age, because you give you the age. Let's say you just need the salary, because you give you each of the salary. Now I'm going to make it a little bit more interesting. You want to all the values, you want to allow them to be inside like inside the sentence, right? So we're using template filter for this to achieve this. So what we want to do is we need to get the staff's name first. That is $sign staff dot first name, right? Staff dot surname, right? Is staff dot age, 8 years old, and ends staff dot salary monthly. So what this is going to do is going to give us or print out the staff name and the age and the salary inside the sentence. So I can see now Benja Rogers is 19 years old and earns $60,000 naira or dollar monthly, right? So that's the work of ForEach. It execute a function for each element in an array, right? That's all for ForEach. It's very simple to understand. Then we'll move on to map, right? So what map does is Map is a method that creates a new array, right? It takes the array you want to work on and create a new array from the array, right? So let's have an example. Let's say you just need to the first name of all the staffs. You want to allow it to be inside a new array, a separate array, just like differentiating, like you want to remove something else, but it's quite different from filter, right? So let's say cost first name equals to staff dot map. So we're going to take an argument of staff, another function. So what you need to return is the staff dot first name. So now if we log it out, start first names. Now you can see it creates a new array and add all the first name of each of the staffs. So that's basically what map does. It creates a new array when needed. So let's have another example. So let's say we need to get the full details of a staff, right? Just like what we did in the ForEach, but this one should be inside an array. Let's say details goes to staff dot map and staff goes to. So what we need to return is return. Let's just do the name and salary, and so say staff dot Sunday and staff dot salary monthly, right? So if we log out our details, so now you can see for the sentence we just created, you put everything inside an array and return it for us. So that's what map does. It creates a new array for us. But these are not of working with array functions. The ESC switch is much better and cleaner. And so let's work on the first one. I'm going to make it shorter. We're going to, as you can see, we use 3 lines for this. So for the one we have to do now, we just use a line and it's going to work perfectly. So let's do the same thing we did here before to get the first name. So first name equals to staff dot map, right? Get your argument staff. Now what we did before was that we created an arrow function and we returned what we want inside the function. What we are going to do here is just instead of calling the function, just write the return, what we want it to return straight up. So no need to even write the return keyword, just return the staff dot first name, not this, staff first name, and if we log it out, oh sorry, go to the staffs. Yeah. So if we log it out now, see, you can see it does what it actually does before, but on a one line, which is more cleaner and better way. Like you writing shorter code will make you feel like a better developer because you actually know what you're doing. Going for an interview and maybe you're asked to write some set of codes, and your the recruiter will always select the candidate that has a shorter line of code and does the same thing than one has a longer line of code, right? So enough of that. So let's move on to the next one. So for this, we're going to make it shorter also. So let's say cost details equals to stars dot map, right? Argument stars. So I'm going to do the same thing for this to return. Let me just copy this. Okay, copy, paste. Right. So let's log our details. And you can see it works also. So that's just a better way of writing JavaScript syntax. Right. So let's move on. Now let's work on another example. Yeah. Let's work on the second array, which is the scores. So let's see what I'm trying to think of an example. Okay. Now let's find the square root of each of the numbers or the scores inside this array with map. Let's say scores square root equals to scores dot map. Need to pass in score equals to. So I'm just going to do it the shorter way, straight up. Equals to math dot square and passing our score. Right. So if I log it now, log square root. So you can see it gives us the square root of each of the item inside the square array, and it gave us inside the new array. And so that's what that's how map works. Very simple and easier to understand. So we can even play with this further. Let's say after performing the square root, you want to multiply it by 2. And just run another map. Just map, pass your score argument, and let's say score times 2. So you can see after squaring the items, it multiplies it by 2 again. You can actually go with this further to any length. Let's say you want to divide it by 5. Let's say score divided by 5. So you can see to give us what we need. So I actually made this better to round it up. I'll just put the score side math not flow. I think we're going to round it up. Yeah, we did. So that's what you can do with map and moving on. So let's move on to filter. Yeah, filter. Filter is filter helps just like as the name implies, it helps filter things out from an array. What it does that it returns a new array with all elements that pass the tests defined by the given function, right? So what this is saying is that or what filter does is that it returns a new array with the element that meets the test you write inside the function, like meets your criteria or what you specify or what you need. Any of the item that is equals to true, it will give you back your item inside the new array, right? So let's have an example. So let's work on the scores array. Let's let me see what we can do with that. Okay, good. We have some number that are lower than 50. So let's allow it to filter out numbers that are lower than 50. That is fail mark. So let's say fail mark equals to scores dot filter. Right. I want to pass in score. So we are going to use conditional to to set the test you want it to pass. So we are going to use if statement for this. So let's say if score is less than or equals to 49, right? Because 50 is a pass mark. So what you want to allow this to do is to return true. So that true means that it passed the argument we gave it, right? So here we log it out now. We log out what is it called? Fail mark. So you can see it only logs out the scores that are lower than 50, right? So that was what it does. It returns a new array with element that pass the test. So this if statement is the test we gave the filter method. So any number that meets this criteria will be added to a new array for us. So that was what that does. Now let's look for let's look at the shorter way of doing this. Right. So let me log this out. So sorry, I ought to yeah, to comment out what each of these does. So in case you want to, because I'll be dropping the GitHub repository in the description. Maybe in case you don't really grab something or you didn't really follow up, I'll drop the GitHub repository so you can check it out and understand better. And I'll also be dropping the details about each of the methods we look at today. It should also be in the description. Right, so for this one we let's say get first name, right? So this one we get details. So this one okay. Now let's work on the shorter version of this. So const fill mark equals to scores filter scores. So what we are going to do here is just like this and the if statement straight up test. So just we need score is less than or equals to 49 and we're done. It's going to work like this. See, this one is much more cleaner and easier to understand, right? So let's work on one more example on filter. Okay, let me see. Okay, I want to allow us to to write one example on this stuff. Okay, I'm trying to think of what we can do. Okay, yeah, I've seen. So we're going to filter out the male staff. I can see there are male staff and there are female staff. To try to filter out the male staff. So filter male staffs. Right. Okay. Now const male staff equals to staff dot filter. we need passing an argument of staff. So I'm going to do this the old way, then we'll work on the shorter way after this. So what it's going to do is we need to filter out what we're trying to achieve is to filter out the main staff. So I'm going to use our if statement. Right. So if staff dot gender, because the property is gender, right? If staff dot gender equals to male, return true, right? So if log out our male staff, so as you can see here, it only gives us the staff that are male, right? You can do the same thing for the female staff. So it says if staff that gender equals to female, return true, and it will give you the female staff. So for the shorter way, so it would be nice if you can pause this video for a minute, right, and try to do it on your own and see if you can get it done, right? So that's how you learn actually. Challenge yourself, try to do something yourself before watching a tutorial or video on how the thing is being done, right? So now let's work on the shorter way. So say const new staff equals to staff dot filter plus our staff. What we need is staff dot gender equals to male. Simple, and it's going to work also. That being said, I'm thinking let's move on to sort. Let's take another example of filter so you can really understand it. So let's filter out, let me see. Okay. So let's filter out stuff that earn more than 100,000. I can see here there are stuff that earn less than 100. So let's filter out those that that earns more than 100,000. So let's say const. I'm trying to think of a variable name for that. Let's just put which staff equals to staff dot filter, right? Personal staff. So what we need to do is to get our staff dot salary is greater than or equals to 100,000. 100,000, I think. Yeah, 100,000. So let's log in our staff. So here we go to the answer for that. I can see the end more than 100,000. So that's that of filter. Now let's move on to sort. Okay, sort. This method is I'm trying to find how to put it. Okay, it sort out items in an array in a specific order, either an ascending order or descending order. It just basically to arrange items in an array, either ascending or descending mode, right? And it's very simple. So you can just let's sort the scores in ascending order. Scores are in ascending order. So say const sort equals to scores dot sort. Are we done? So let's log out sort. Okay. Oh, sorry. can see it has arranged it in an ascending order. But if you notice, there's a little bit of hiccup here. So after 5 was supposed to be the first, so it went from 44, 46, 5, 55. So just calling sort like that will sort it out in an ascending order, but it only looks at the best first index in the item, right? So what it does is 4 is actually lesser than 5, so it takes all the 4 arguments first, then go to 5. But to fix this, or to make this much better, we are going to pass in an argument of A and B. You can put it anything, but A and B is just like the norms for it. So what you are going to do with this A and B is I'm going to return A minus B, right? So if you look at it now, that's fixed the hiccup. 5 is now the 4, followed by 44, 46, and so on and so forth. So what it does is it sorts it out ascendingly. So now you want to sort it out descendingly. It's very simple. What I'm going to just do is instead of A minus B, you return B minus A, and that will sort it out descendingly. So let me say that, and you can see in the descending order 72, 70, 60, 65, 62, and so on. So that's that on sort. Very simple and elegant, right? So now let's move on to the last for this video. So that is reduce. That's reduce. I was saying reduce is it can be used for a lot of things. So the way it works is that it executes a reducer function on each element in an array, and it returns a single value, right? So what it's basically saying is that it does addition. It looks at the values inside an array and return a single value. So it's going to add the sum total of values in the array and give you the total. Right, so let's have an example of reduce. So we want to get the total scores inside the score array. So what I'm going to do is const total scores equals to scores dot reduce, right? And yeah, we are going to need 2 arguments for this. One is total, and the other one is let's give it score. So what this is going to do is we want to return total plus scores, right? And then we save that, and now we'll get total scores, right? So as you can see, give us the total number of scores. Like he added everything and gave us a single value. But in this practice, after this coding basis here, put a comma and add 0. I'll show you the reason why this is important in the next example we are going to do. But before going to the next example, let's write this in a shorter way. Right. So let's say const total scores equals to scores dot reduce. This has total scores, right? So we turn it straight up. We turned total plus score, right? I don't forget to add your 0, as I said earlier. If we save it, you see, works the same way. So that's that. And let's have another example, and I'll show you why adding a last argument of 0 here is worth it. So now let's say we want to get the total salary, the total amount of all the salary of the staff in the organization. So let's say const total salaries cost to staff not reduce, right? So passing our argument total and staff, right? So we want to return total, sorry, total plus staff dot salary. So now let's log out to salaries, right? So this was going to give us like an object with some bunch of I think the salaries combined together. I'm not sure. I think so. But so that's the hiccup or the downside to not adding the 0 argument after the curly braces. So if you notice, if I had 0 right after the curly braces and I save it, it's going to give us the total amount of salary rather. So that's the importance of adding a 0 argument after the curly braces. Now let's work on the shorter way of writing this. Const total salaries equals to staff not reduce. Right. So our argument total staff, right? I want to return total plus staff plus salaries. Salary. And add our 0. Simple. I'll get the exact same thing we did here. So that's that on the 5 different higher order methods or function we are going to look at today. So for recap, we look at ForEach, we look at map, we look at filter, we look at sort, and we look at reduce. So that's for today's video. So if you have any question or anything you don't understand, feel free to write it in the comment section, and I'll be putting the repository in the description, and some of the details of each of the methods we look at, the explanation, the meaning. So it will also be in the description, and that's all. So don't forget to like and subscribe, and if you have any issue or complaint or you don't understand anything, don't forget the comment section is open, and I'll reply as fast as I can. Have a nice day. Take care. Goodbye.